All right, well, we'll get started. We want to welcome Scott Tinney to the first Chronicle debates today, and we're discussing Lewis County Clerk. Unfortunately, Linda Williams is unable to attend today, so we will focus our questions to Scott Tinney. The guidelines today, each candidate or yourself will get an opportunity for a 2-minute opening statement. I don't know if you're going to need the 1-minute rebuttal, so we'll just kind of
I hope
bypass
not.
that part. And then you'll answer the question, then you will follow up with a 2-minute closing statement. So if you're ready, we'll get started.
All right.
All right, we'll start with your opening statement.
I'm Scott Tinney. I am the incumbent Lewis County Clerk. I've held that position for 6 years. Prior to that, I had nearly 24 years of experience working in a clerk's office, doing a wide variety of jobs within the office. I'm able to fill in and do most every job within the clerk's office, from working the front counter to clerk in the courtroom, docketing, some of the accounting activities. I frequently am up at the front counter helping and assisting when we are busy or shorthanded, or just my expertise is needed at the front counter. Since coming into office, when I originally took office, there was over half of the staff that was on probationary status, had been there less than 6 months because of the continual turnover. I've worked hard to make the office a place where people want to come to work and stay. And up until here a couple months ago, we hadn't had a vacancy in over a year. We had somebody leave to go to work in another local court, but we've created an office where I believe the customers of the office feel like they're getting good service. The people that work there want to work there and they want to serve the public. I was just humbled yesterday to see a letter to the editor where my entire staff is supporting and urging everyone to vote for me for re-election because of the way the office is running and the service that we're able to provide to the public.
Perfect, thank you. And we'll jump right into the first question then. Please explain what the elected Lewis County Clerk's job is and how you are best suited to carry it out.
Well, the county clerk actually has 2 roles. You're the county clerk and you're the ex officio clerk of Superior Court. By virtue of holding that office, you are the clerk for Superior Court, which means that the clerk is responsible for maintaining all court records, court files that are generated in Superior Court. We're also the financial officer, so any money that is related, paid into the registry of the court, or fines that are ordered, fees that are ordered, can be things like guardian ad litem fees that are ordered to be paid that come through our office. That all goes through our trust account, and then we disperse those monies at the direction of the court. Me or one of my deputies, most often my deputies, are required to attend every court session. Sometimes we'll have as many as 7 courtrooms going at a time, and keep an independent record of what happened, and that's the clerk's minutes. That's separate from the court reporters who work for the courts. We keep our own separate record of what happened, and it's basically who was at the hearing and what was decided. Was it continued? Was it dismissed? Those sorts of basic details. It's not a verbatim reporting like the court reporter does. Those are the main court-related functions of the county clerk. There are other duties that are not related to the court, such as we are a passport agent for U.S. Department of State. We process passport applications. We also are involved in a few other things that are court-related, but for instance, the filing of paperwork. We have individuals come in and they need to open a case. We're usually the first contact somebody will have with the court system. We can't give legal advice, but we can assist people with processes and timelines that are associated with filing those types of cases.
Thank you. Next question. You and your opponent have both spoken about the, what?
That's where we rotate. That's
Oh, you
fine.
gotta be up here for the mic.
Oh,
Yeah, sorry.
okay.
You and your opponent have both spoken about the need for a court facilitator, but have different visions. Explain how you would add such a position and how it would benefit the public.
Well, a court facilitator is mainly used for pro se family litigants, individuals who are going through some sort of a family law matter and don't have legal representation, don't have an attorney, and it can be a real burden on someone going through a very stressful time in their lives to try to navigate the legal system and fill out paperwork that they're not familiar with. Oftentimes, this is the first time somebody's had contact with the court. They're not familiar with the terms, the forms, the processes, and that's what a facilitator's role is helping individuals with those sorts of things. We can give them limited help at the counter about timelines and how you set a hearing, that sort of thing, but we really can't help them with any of the forms themselves, filling out any of the forms. That service used to be, we contracted with Lewis County Bar Legal Aid to provide that, and it was some of it was done by attorneys that donated their time to the legal aid. Another one was volunteers from the community performing that function, and they were across the parking lot from the courthouse, so it was very convenient. We could tell people, walk across the parking lot, and you could talk to legal aid and perhaps get some help. Legal aid, I think in 2018, ceased to exist. And shortly before the pandemic began, in conjunction with Lewis County Bar Association president, I had started some conversations with the director of Thurston County Volunteer Legal Services, who services 5 different counties, one of which is Lewis County. We had started the conversations, then the lockdowns happened, and they communicated that they were unable to proceed with any, we couldn't go any place with it because facilitation is something that pretty much is a one-on-one, sit down at a table with somebody for a length of time going over line by line on forms. The Superior Court and I have met recently within the last couple of weeks with that director, and we're expecting a proposal any day from them about starting to provide that service again to the public.
Thank you.
The need for a modern electronic document filing system has been a topic in this race. Explain why it is needed and what you would do to implement it.
Well, it's needed for several reasons. One is the goal is for us to no longer have to maintain paper files. And the statute allows an electronic record to become the record, replace any paper copy as long as it's been verified to match it. So we do scanning of old files now and getting rid of the old files because we have an electronic version of it which becomes the official record. The goal is to be able to accept electronic filings and not maintain paper files at all. We would receive a document either across the counter or electronically filed. We would verify that we have a good image of it, page by page verify that, and then we would, if we had a paper document, we'd shred it. If not, then we would delete whatever we had other than what was in the court management system, our document management system, which is now Odyssey. It's going to change to a different name here shortly. It's the same product. We had explored several options, in conjunction with the prosecutor's office, Superior Court, the defense, there were some representatives from the defense counsel on there, and we had explored several options, none of which were feasible given the nature of the court system that we're using, our document management system that's run through AOC. A couple of years ago, AOC came out and they had another product that interfaces with our current court system that they were offering, and it sounded at that time like it was going to be a very short-term process to get that implemented. Then, because of some other projects AOC, the Administrative Office of the Court, had going, they kind of put us on hold while they were doing some stuff with the lower court upgrades. Now they've halted that lower court upgrade, and they are hopeful by July to actually have funding from the state to actually pay this, so there wouldn't be a cost to the counties to do this, and it would be integrated right in with Odyssey, the court management system that we use through the Office of Administrator of the Court. And that is what the hope is by next July we'll have something going.
Thank you.
Next, talk about your most important endorsement and why you believe it should sway voters.
I believe my most important endorsement is the endorsement via a letter to the editor that came out in the paper yesterday that was signed by all 14 employees of the clerk's office. They expressed in very direct terms why they support me and why the county and the citizens of this county need to have me running that office as opposed to somebody without any experience.
Thank you. How else can the clerk's office, besides what you've spoken about already, can the clerk's office be improved for the public?
Continued training, possibly more funding for advanced technologies, and a lot of that would be related maybe to electronic filing. If by having electronic filing and maybe being able to eliminate the number of individuals that have to come to the courthouse and just stand in line, that's going to be one huge, I mean, it's kind of what we've already talked about, but that part of it is going to allow us to focus more on the individuals that are actually at the counter to do other things and have to ask us questions, are there to fill out domestic violence petitions or that sort of thing that takes a lot of hands-on back and forth conversation with the customer. By eliminating those individuals that are coming in to file, it would give us more time to focus on the individuals that actually need customer service at the counter. That would be one way. It would also free up, we're not going to be spending time filing and maintaining paper files. That would free up some staff to work on customer service and offer more hands-on help to the customers.
Do you wish to make any rebuttal of anything you've said so far? How's it?
Can I have a minute?
Might as well take the minute.
Yeah, I'm good.
Next.
All right. Well, that concludes our questions. So last thing you've got here on the is 2 minutes for your closing statement.
I strongly believe that the citizens of Lewis County need to have the most experienced and knowledgeable individual in this important position. It's a very unique position that has a very specific skill set. The best way for somebody to learn the job of county clerk is by working in a county clerk's office, which I have done for almost 30 years. I think that it would be a disservice to the citizens to remove somebody from that position to replace them with somebody that has never worked a day in a clerk's office and lacks the specific skills needed to perform the duties of the county clerk. I'd ask for your vote.
Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you for your time.
Mm-hmm.